Hey guys, Brian Fisher with Edge Fitness. Just want to come in, talk to you about something I noticed with a number of people that we get the opportunity to work with. We all move. We have bodies. We're designed to move from the day we're born until wherever you are now, until the day we're no longer here. Our bodies are meant to move. We oftentimes, just through all the choices and everything that we make, we lose or gain the ability to move. Sedentary jobs, sitting watching movies, sitting in the cars, driving, just not moving. Even if you're standing for a long period of time. Standing is better than sitting, but sedentarism is just, we're not moving, we're not active enough. And when we see people that really come in and have a difficult time of moving, and maybe this is something you can check on yourself here, when it comes to how well we move. Why is that so important? Well, heard a statistic a couple years ago when we were all able to, in a different lifetime, actually meet together in person. Oh my goodness, crazy, I know. Where a gentleman by the name of Dan John gave a statistic for what he called his Get Back Up series, and just being able to get up and down off the floor through a variety of different positions. Great series to do. Love it. Use it with a lot of people. They said, and this was his words, that people his age, he was in his 60s, that people his age are at greater risk of dying from falling than they are from cancer. Right? Now, you could fall and break your neck, something like that, absolutely, but the complications, the results, the aftermath of falling and potentially falling and not being able to get back up at all, if no one's there to help you, those can be some pretty serious life-threatening situations for different people. So when we say it's important how well you move before how often you move, we don't want to jump right to the how often. And you're doing all kinds of crazy things. You're doing all lunges, you're doing your squats, you're doing your swings, you're doing your kip and pull-ups, you're doing all kinds of fun, awesome, great movements. But then you finish and you can barely sit down. And then to stand back up, it's pretty challenging. If your workout's leaving you that tired, one, you're working out, not training, doing too much, not paying attention to the sustainability of things. It's okay to push every once in a while, obviously, yes, but you want to look at your day-to-day movements. You're going to do those a lot more than you're going to do everything in the gym. Form and technique, obviously, in the gym is very, very important. And one of the key things, anytime we move in or out of the gym, one of the key principles is we move from core to extremity. Our core provides the stable platform, the anchor that our arms and legs and even our head turn, move to help us do those lunges, those step-ups, those jumps, those swings, pull-ups, push-ups, presses, pulls, rows, any type of motion that we do, whether it is picking up my 3-year-old up off the floor when he wants Daddy Express to go upstairs for bedtime, or it's picking up a basket of laundry, or it's actually trying to set a PR on your deadlift or your cleans or snatches. Whatever it is, if you violate that core to extremity principle, you're going to get in trouble. Maybe not then, but it will happen. One of the simple ways that we notice that for people as they are moving, just in general, getting up and down off the floor. That's why it's such a great test to look at how well can you do that. And a lot of places will use that as a simple assessment where you try to go down, stand back up without using your hands or any points of contact. You're supposed to go down and pop right back up, and you lose like a half a point or something like that for any time you touch the ground with your hand. But if you watch some people, okay, their movement patterns are either so immature or they are so rigid, so stiff, so immobile, so weak in a lot of different ways with their movement that they're not able to get down without some form of external stabilization. Our core is our internal stabilizer. Okay? So when we stand, we should be able to hold just good posture, good position, rooting our feet into the floor, getting up nice and tall to the ceiling, having the head back, shoulders down, all that good fun stuff, pelvis tucked underneath of you, all those good fun things that you've probably heard a million times and just goes in one out in ear because you're tired of hearing it. You know it, but do you actually do it? Taking a look at your posture, big, big key thing, because if you oftentimes stand like this or here, there was another PT, Kelly Fred, who says, don't stand like a douchebag. His words, not mine, but here, what we're doing essentially is creating not one spine or primary spine, but a secondary and even a tertiary spine to provide some external stability, moving from core or from stability from limbs, extremities to the core rather than core to the extremities. Another example of that is when you go to get down onto the floor, I have to press off or put all my force weight into this bench because I know that bench is more stable than I can hold my core versus just being able to simply go down to the floor where you can brace internally and give your legs something strong enough to push into the ground and then push back against that force and hold your position without losing it or potentially falling over. So take a look at your movement quality. Are you using some of those external stabilizing strategies when you move, or in absence of that, are you not able to hold that internal position with that internal tension? Maybe some examples of that are going to be if you are, the butt wing, working whatever you want to call it, at the bottom of a squat, where your pelvis kind of tilts too far. If you're arching your back when you come into the top of a swing, overextending when you press, doing that and you come up out of a squat or deadlift as well. Those are oftentimes you are trying to move using more of your extremities rather than through that core. Right? We want to start to think about trying to change that movement strategy and look at, one great example is going through the developmental sequence. As we kind of get into some of those late stages, we go from 3 months up to 13 months and on. When we get into kind of that 10-month range, we're starting to sit up. We get into 11 months, we're starting to do what we call kind of a tripod position where you're coming up and you might have a little bit of external support because you're just first learning how to move. Then all of a sudden, we use that external support to engage that internal mechanism. We start to press. So I'm using this for support, but a mature athlete, individual, should be able to just take away that external support and have pretty good internal stabilization and work that way. As we kind of start to maybe relearn some broken movement patterns, revisiting some of those first early primitive patterns, going back to, okay, let me get some form of core support and stability. So if you got faulty movement patterns, lunges are really hard and it's hurting your knees, hurting your hips, hurting your back, shoulders, squats, you can't get down very far, your body's putting some form of governor, some brake on, saying, whoa, if you go too far, you're going to lose control. You're going to lose your position, you're going to fall over, you're going to hurt something because you're creating a lot more tension than you need to in some places, not enough in others, and you put a lot of pressure, a lot of strain, a lot of stress on different parts and pieces for the body. So maybe for you, taking a step back, doing some assistance type of movements, okay, where maybe you're using a TRX for a little bit of stability within your squat pattern, not leaning on it, not relying on it, but using it to just assist, to get some better movement, splitting that out if you have trouble into lunges. Plenty of ways to utilize some of those developmental strategies of assistance, and just like that little child does, trying to engage with an external surface, but engage that internal mechanism. Learning how to do that the very first time, relearning how to do that with some of these different strategies. This is just scratching the surface on a pretty big thing here that can be very, very powerful. We use it a lot within our sandbag training, within body weight training, within just teaching people how to move properly. And if you haven't done something like a functional movement screen or some type of movement assessment to see where some of these weaknesses might be a good thing to really check out. If you're already into a pain pattern, then you definitely want to look at maybe something like an SFMA, where it's a medical assessment to have somebody look and see and help you find, here's some patterns that are safe to do, here are some patterns to avoid while we work on improving both the pain and or dysfunction in that pattern. But oftentimes just take a look at your general movement ability. Okay? That fun little get back up series is simply down to your stomach, get back up. Nothing on, you don't use any other surfaces, it's just you on the floor. Okay? You go down to your right side, get back up, down to your left side, get back up, down to a push-up plank position, and then down finally onto your back. That's the first layer. Okay? Can you do that? How well can you do that? Some people, you put them in an open space and say, go down on the floor. They're panic stricken because like, where's something I can push off on? Where's something that can support me, like a box or a bench? Or then they'll just kind of hang out here, shove their shoulders up to their ears, and until the floor catches them. Right? That can be you're too sore from training. That can be you have lived a long life of inactivity or beat yourself up and you've got a lot of mileage on your body and it's just hard for you to move. Wherever it is, any other reasons even other than that, going through a simple assessment like we talked about, great thing to do. We do the functional movement screening, some other methods. Here, you can go with a good PT that knows the medical assessments as well and have them help you out with some of these things and then work with someone like a good coach to try to help you find that path back to better movement and then to stay there. A lot of really good resources with it, but you want to find the ones that are better for you to help you keep getting better. Right? If you want the rest of that Get Back Up series, next layer, put one hand on one knee, do those same 5 positions. Down to your stomach, get back up. Right side, get back up. Left side, get back up. One arm push-up plank position. One arm push-up is optional. And then on your back. Do the same thing on the other side. Okay? See how well you do. Try not to break that hand away from your knee. Then, third layer. Yeah, opposite. Get down on your stomach the best that you can. Side, right, left. Push-up plank position on your back. Switch over, do the other way. Where do the wheels fall off? Where do you get that point where it's like, I don't know how to go down to the ground, I don't know how to get back up? There you're going to start to notice some of those limitations of, wow, I always go down onto my right knee, but now I can't. I don't know how to go down, or maybe you don't know how to get back up. Those are going to maybe be some signs that some good core training, good core strengthening. It's not the end all be all, and no, that's not some crunches, sit-ups, Russian twists, leg raises. That is learning how to create tension here with some good stability and then utilize that tension with movement. Tons of cool, fun ways to do that we would love to show you guys. And if you think this might be something that could help you, contact us. You can drop us a line in the comments below. You can hit us up on our website or Facebook, social media, any of those places to help you or help us help you as you get going on your path, taking those next steps, maybe in hopefully a better direction with your movement. And another way we can help you is don't forget to subscribe and share for our channel here, so that way we can come alongside you with these videos. You can share them with your friends, family to help you take your next steps as you keep going on your health and fitness journey. So get moving, give that Get Back Up series a try, and we'll see you guys next time.